I got a Daisy feeling. I got a Daisy feeling. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? I'm JABYBHAI, joined by Achara Kirk.
What's up?
You'll also see a bit of LEQUAN and Andrew. We just watched The Flash. Got out of the theater just minutes ago. Very excited to share our feelings, but want to let you know this will be a non-spoiler. No surprises will be ruined in this video whatsoever, but I do encourage you to be careful on YouTube because I've heard that a lot of The Flash big surprises are being spoiled all over the internet. So just, watch where you walk when it comes to YouTube for the next few days until you get to watch the film yourself. Initial feelings. I had a lot of fun. There were some very strange things I did not like in this film. Some gripes that I came out going, you know what, like that was really, really not good in certain areas, but I think they really stuck the landing, and I had a lot of joy, a lot of just wow going on, and just, joy again. It was a visual spectacle, to say the least, and they went to places that I didn't know they were going to go to, and I had feelings I didn't know I was going to have, both good and bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I second that. Overall, it was a really fun experience. I think people are going to have a really great time, especially with the cameos.
I am a little bit shell-shocked by all the references, the cameos. The cameos are major in this film. I won't say anything about them, but you might be surprised.
Obviously, there are some that we know about from the trailers, and that was so exciting. Obviously, seeing Michael Keaton as Batman, the Caped Crusader, the greatest detective, back again.
Oh my God. I've always wondered what a 71-year-old Batman would be like, and I got my answer, and he's freaking awesome. I can't even describe how happy I was seeing Michael Keaton on the big screen. What did you think about Michael Keaton back?
Michael Keaton was in top form in this film. Did not miss a beat. You could really see how much he enjoyed being back. The theater enjoyed having him back. This was a very awesome thing, especially if you grew up watching his films or seeing them in the theater.
But there are also some other surprises in there that are really, really fun. Overall, had a good time, but I did have some issues that I was kind of surprised by.
Yeah, so I think we can go into that a tiny bit, and I think that sharing these feelings will help you have a better experience with the movie overall. So the thing that Achara specifically is referring to is the same thing I felt, which is a lot of Barry Allen.
Yeah.
And, it was unexpected that the dynamic of Barry Allen was going to be a little bit annoying to watch sometimes. Now, I don't know if the majority of people watching this film are going to feel that way, but everybody who saw the film in my group certainly had that sentiment.
Yeah, it's really funny because as a character, I really love Barry Allen.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoy The Flash a lot. I enjoyed him a lot in the Justice League, and he was one of my favorite characters in that movie. But as I was watching this film, his big standalone movie, I think there's such a thing as too much Flash.
I don't know if that's necessarily it as much as there was just obnoxious choices in the humor. The funniest thing is, you taking Tim Burton's Batman, and you're taking elements of Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, and you're merging it all together in this comedy action film. And that's a little bit strange if you're a devout fan of Zack Snyder and the Snyderverse, if you're a big, big fan of Tim Burton and you're looking forward to that nostalgia. It's a lot of fun when you see all that stuff on the big screen and you're revisiting these set pieces and these characters you really like. But there is a bit of a tonal clash when you are, familiar with them in a completely different setting. The way that you see Bruce Wayne in this film, you can tell from the trailer, it's Bruce Wayne that Michael Keaton, but it's different.
Yeah, but I think for me, it was mostly just when it was just Barry and Barry. In the beginning, I was like, oh, this is fun. And then it just kind of started to wear on me a little bit. But as soon as more characters were introduced, I was like, oh yes, this is the right balance. This is the right balance we need, because we can't just have Barry being awkward and funny on his own for the entire film, because it just gets to be a bit much.
One of the great things that this movie did was it rooted you emotionally in Barry Allen's story.
Yes.
And that was something I predicted from the trailer of how I was going to react react. And even though I knew what to expect emotionally going in, it still hit me, which was surprising because, you know, in the first half of the film, I really wasn't sure how I was feeling. Like, it started out super, super strong in the first 10 minutes, and then it went to places that just kind of made me go, you know, huh? And scratching my head and wondering why we were spending so much time on certain things. But then once it got into like the real heart of the adventure, I was like, yes, this is the movie. This is exciting. This is great. Everything it explores in terms of Barry Allen's journey is very, very interesting.
Yeah, he has a really nice arc.
Yeah. And it's stuff that I don't think we've seen too many characters in the DC universe in terms of films explore yet. So that's what's pretty cool about this movie.
The emotional pull that you get in terms of Barry Allen, and obviously you know what the storyline is in terms of what he's trying to do. You know, there were a couple times I might have been having some tears coming down, but overall, yeah, he's my witness. He knows.
Yeah, it was incredibly moving, and like you said, the emotional part, they got me, and I was surprised and not surprised. I wasn't surprised that they got me because most of these things get me. Yeah. But there was definitely the sensation of, if this scene carries on any longer, I might break out into a full-on sob.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you can see it. I tried to fix my makeup, but there's still like tear tracks on my face because I was crying so hard.
Yeah. The action is where they spent their money really, really well on the visual effects, like the real like fighting action. They spent their money well there.
Yeah.
However, there's other visual effects that's just associated with Barry Allen running that I think was quite problematic and could have used several more passes. Like, you will see it right from the get-go. It's like, that looks weird. Why would they do it like that? And I'm telling you that to brace you so that you can lower your expectations so that when you go into the movie, you actually feel all right with what you're seeing. Because I went in expecting like the best of the best visual effects.
Right.
And then I'm watching it going, this is, whoa, wow, I can't believe, wow. And that happened to me like quite a few times in the first 30, 40 minutes, I would say. But when it came to, you know, Clash of the Titans, it's like all that stuff looked great. Speaking of which, Supergirl. I did not think I was gonna like her, and I actually said in one of our trailer reactions, I'm like, I don't have any excitement for her at all, but maybe when I watch the movie, I'll feel differently. And man, I was so wrong about her from the trailer reactions.
She's awesome.
She's so awesome. Like, I wish they actually gave her more time, because like, I wish they gave her own standalone film at this point, or her own show with that character. She embodied everything I needed her to with the situation.
I thought that she performed that role so well. Like, you could just feel all the nuances from her, and you understood like where her character was coming from and what influenced her choices and everything. I loved her, and I mean, I've always been a fan of Supergirl from back in the day, but I really enjoyed this version, this more like gritty, darker.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because like, that's actually a different angle than we would have expected with the tone that the movie strikes. Like, she's really the grittiest character in the film.
Yeah.
Which is so surprising, because I don't associate Supergirl with grit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was really, really good. I actually really enjoyed a lot of the comedy as well. Like, there were some really great funny moments, and there were some that like didn't quite land. But overall, I was like, oh yeah, nice effort.
I was actually, I'm so shocked at how much I appreciated Supergirl. Like, I came out with my heart stolen by her. I don't know how to phrase that better. I'm stumbling over my own words. I just was like so taken by her. When you have her close-ups in the movie and her hair's kind of wet and stuff like that.
She's so intense.
She's so intense.
Yeah.
I loved every second of her, and I just wanted more of her. I was so happy with my reaction to her when I saw the film. I was just shocked. I'm like, she's a badass, and I really like her, what she brought to this film. The music is one of those things that you heard in the trailer, and they definitely give you that nostalgic punch that you need. It's joyous. It's a joyous thing to be able to hear the music that you hear in this film in the theater, in Dolby Atmos, and so I would strongly recommend you guys watch this in the theater, even with the caveats I explained, with the shortcomings that I explained with the visual effects and all that stuff. The journey as a whole was still quite strong.
Yeah.
And I think that there's going to be immediate comparisons between this and Across the Spider-Verse, because they're both dealing with like similar concepts,
right?
With the multiverse and multiple versions of himself, etc.
Timelines and all that.
I think that, if I had to pick between the two, Across the Spider-Verse is easily the better of the two films.
Yes.
But I definitely had a lot of fun watching this, and I still think I give it a strong recommendation, despite some of the negative things that I had mentioned in this video.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun time at the theater. And like you said, it stuck the landing. So any kind of qualms that I was feeling more towards the beginning third or the beginning half of the movie, the latter half like turned it around for me.
Absolutely. And make sure you stick around to the end. I'm sure most of you will, but there is an after credits bit. And, you know, I can't understand why people leave. Some people still leave before the after credits stuff. There is something there. It's not great, but it's there. So just make sure you stick around for the end credits. At the very, very end, there's something for you. A little bonus on top of everything else. Little treat.
Overall, I really thought the film was paced well. There were a lot of great things in it. Some nitpicks here and there that I'll go more into detail in my spoiler talk when I am with the great JABYBHAI and Achara Kirk. But overall, I think you're going to really enjoy this movie. There's a lot of great things about it, and it's a good time at the cinema. It's a great theater experience that you're going to enjoy with other people.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of fun. Not perfect. A lot of fun, though.
I think that covers the gamut of stuff. Look out for our live stream when we do a live stream spoiler talk on this film, and looking forward to chatting with you guys then. I'm JABYBHAI. This is
Achara Kirk.
Peace out.